Dealerships play psychological games to make you feel like they're on your side. I'm gonna teach you how to identify this and how to beat them. If you guys don't know, my name is Tommy. I've been in the car business most of my adult life. Done sales and finance, now I negotiate car deals. Enough about me, let's talk about these games. I always say negotiating a car deal is like a game of chess. Only one side knows how to play. I am teaching you guys how to play. You have to think about your opponent though. Your opponent is the salesperson, somebody that has practiced their craft 2,500 hours a year. They're definitely good. They're the type of people that are overconfident. Let's look at this comment, for example. They can watch somebody that has 500 TikToks over the last 90 days and still say, you know what, I could take this guy, I could beat him, I would crush him in a negotiation, because that's the type of personalities you're dealing with. They're type A personalities that feel like they're the best at what they do. That is why car salesmen are so difficult to deal with. Now, there's some psychological games I want to touch on in this video so you can learn how to beat these kind of personality types and get yourself the best deal possible. The first rule of this game is we do not negotiate on their home turf. We only negotiate over the phone and online. Now, the reason being, and some people say, Tommy, I negotiate all my deals on store and I get great deals. Realistically, sure, that's probably right. If I went into store and negotiated a car deal, I could probably save well, maybe a few $100 more than I could online, potentially, if I did everything right. But that being said, that's the caveat. You have to find the right store that's willing to give you the right discount. You have to spend hours there in order to get there. And in reality, you're probably gonna get the same deal, if not worse than what you did negotiating online over the phone. On top of it, if you're watching TikTok and YouTube, asking for negotiation advice, let's be real here. You're probably not the world's best negotiator, and that's okay. It's okay to know our strengths and weaknesses. I'm not a good woodworker. If I need woodworking help, I go and get advice. I don't just try to jump in and try to figure it out myself. I'm gonna be watching a YouTube tutorial and trying to figure it out along the way. You need to watch that YouTube tutorial and figure it out along the way. That's why negotiating online and over the phone is so powerful. Understand the salesperson is not your friend. The dynamic of the dealership is really simple. You start working with a salesperson, that is your consultant. They might even have a different name for it now because they're trying to change what it is, but that person is supposed to be on your side. Think about this. Have you ever heard in the middle of negotiations or sitting at the desk and said, I'm gonna go to bat for you. I'm gonna go talk to the manager and try to get you the best darn deal. Realistically, those two guys are on the same side. One of them is just making it feel like they're on your side, but in reality, they're trying to make the most amount of money possible. And yes, certain salespeople will try to work the manager more than work the customer. And what that means is they're going to try to work the manager to get more of a discount rather than making you work more to pay. But realistically, you still have two people with the same letterhead on their shirt trying to get the same deal. They are trying to make the most amount of money for the dealership. The salesperson trying to make the most amount of money in their own pocket. So when they're going to bat for you and fighting for you, in reality, they're just trying to find a way to buy a car. And when they're sitting back there for 20, 30 minutes, they are not trying to sit for 20, 30 minutes strategizing about your deal. They're normally talking about their day or asking what they're doing this weekend. And that's the third tip here, which is time is so important. Now, when you're in a dealership, it's so important because there's the fear of loss, which if you spend hours at a dealership and then eventually you get a subpar deal, you're more than willing to take it because you've spent hours at the dealership. You don't want to have to go, and they'll even say this, you've been here for hours. We've gone back and forth. Do you really want to walk away and put all these hours to waste? You've probably heard this in a negotiation before. Now, guess what? If you do this online over the phone, you can put this same thing back at them, which is, hey, you know what? Somebody hasn't texted me back for 4 or 5 hours and they said they're buying a car today. Now they're freaking out. Is our deal not good enough? Should we give them a better deal? And then you might just have a dealership that shoots you better numbers and said, you know what, here, this actually happened to me last night. I had a deal that was working on a lease in Las Vegas. People say you can't negotiate in Las Vegas, but I had deals all around the mid 600s for leases and everything was going just fine. And I had a dealership that was at the very beginning that I hadn't responded to for a few hours. Lo and behold, they jump in and jump the lease payment by over $100 a month. They ended up giving like a $20,000+ discount on everything said and done. Lease payments at buy rate, everything was great and awesome. And these other dealerships, I was actually struggling to negotiate. It was not easy to negotiate with dealerships in Las Vegas. Again, not impossible, and I was working with it, but this dealership felt the pressure saying I was gonna buy today and tomorrow, and they folded, and they gave me everything and lost a serious amount of money to sell us a car, all because time was on our side because we're negotiating at home. And even though I just didn't respond to him, he thought the world was ending and they were gonna lose a car deal. I only gave you 3 tips on the psychology side, but I want to give you guys more. I've done one of these videos before, but if you guys like the psychology side of sales, don't be afraid to let me know in the comment section. I can make a part 3 of this. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys have been awesome. If you guys want to see anything in particular, please leave it in the comments. I pride myself in responding to every comment. If you guys want to see the deals that I'm negotiating on my clients, don't be afraid to go check out my Instagram. It has every deal that I do. I try to post one at least once a day so you guys understand the deals I'm getting. I have a really awesome deal I'm going to share today that should go up in the next few hours. But if you guys like this kind of content, like, follow, subscribe. Thank you so much and have a great day.